Hi friends, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Okay, let us start today reading Revelation 13 chapter and we will understand. I will read verse by verse. You will understand what I am trying to explain to you. So let's start from verse 1. Then he opened his mouth in blasphemy. Revelation 13 verse 1. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his head a blasphemous name. Now the beast which I saw was like a leopard, his feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth was like mouth of a lion. The dragon gave him his power, his throne, and great authority. I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world marveled and followed the beast. So they worshipped the dragon who gave authority to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" And he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and he was given authority to continue for 42 months against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those who dwell in heaven. It was granted to him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and the authority was given him over every tribe, tongue, and nation. All who dwell on the earth will worship him, whose names have not been written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. If anyone has an ear, let him hear. He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Get to know that there was a beast which comes out from the sea, and it was having 7 heads, 10 horns, and on his horns there were 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. So we all know that beast is compared to a man. So this is what it is all about. He has 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his 7 heads they are crowns. So 10 crowns. So it's very dreadful to see all these things, but it will happen one day. And there is a meaning out of this, that the beast was like a leopard. We all know the leopard is as fast, it runs, but the beast here is compared to a leopard, and feet like a bear, and his mouth like a mouth of lion. And the dragon gave him his power, his throne, and great authority. So the man who is the beast, Satan gives him his power, his throne, and great authority. It's all compared to the evil side. It's not on the positive side. So we see that the beast is maybe a cruel person, or a person who has no have all negative traits in their lives, and that's why his appearance is like a leopard, and his feet is like a bear, and mouth is like a mouth of lion, which means the mouth keeps roaring all the time. And one of his heads was mortally wounded, means it was like someone who hit his head, and that wound gets healed, and it's a deadly wound. It gets healed, and that as it gets, he receives that miracle that he is healed. All who sees that will start following the beast, means will start following the man, seeing the miracle, because he is being healed. So they worship the dragon who gave the authority to the beast. Now we know who the dragon is. Dragon is the Satan. So he has given authority to the beast, means he has given authority to the man who is very cruel, who is very on the negative side. And they worship the beast, saying like, who is the beast who is able to make war with him. And this was going on for 42 months. And he speaks all blasphemous things which is not good in sight of the Lord. So he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God and against men also. Against God, and he'll blaspheme God's name and his tabernacle and all those who dwell in heaven. And he was granted to him to make war with the saints, means with God's saints, and to overcome them. But I don't know, he gets success in doing all this, and because the authority was given to him by the Satan, that's why he has this courage to do all such things. And authority was given to him over every tribe, tongue, and nation. And all who dwell on the earth will worship him. So, who all are worshipping the beast, their names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb. Of the Lamb is nothing but Lamb is Lord Jesus Christ, and he has been slain from the foundation of the world. So their names are not there, and all such people will worship the beast. If anyone has an ear, let him hear. He who leads into captivity will go into captivity. He who kills with the sword will be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. So who has to go into captivity will go into captivity, and one who kills with the sword will be killed by the sword only. And that's how the tradition goes on. But the faith of the saints and the patience of the saints will remain stable. So now let's read verse 11. Then he saw another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spoke like a dragon, and he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs, so that he even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the name or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. Now we see that there is another beast coming out from the earth. First was the beast coming out from the sea. Now it's beast coming out from the earth. And he has 2 horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. We all know the lamb having 2 horns and how it looks like. But spoke like a dragon means the dragon only spews fire out of its mouth. So this is what the second beast is from the earth. And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence. and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. So the second beast, comes from the earth, makes the people worship the first beast because his deadly wound was healed, and because that miracle happened, he makes them to worship the first beast. And he performs great signs, like he shows that he can bring fire from heaven down to the earth in sight of the people. And he does that so that he can convince that he also has power to do such things. And though he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in sight of the beast. So he does all this in the sight of the first beast, and telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. So he tells the people to